Okay, so we're going to do problem 19. Okay, so this is problem number 19 on page 588. And I already see I need a thicker pen. So that's what we're going to go and get. Alright. Okay. And so let's read the problem. And again, you have your book, so please follow along. And the problem reads, what is the sixth term in the sequence below? So what's the sequence? As you see it in your book, 1, 3, 7, 15, 31, blank, 127. What's your answer? A, B, C, D. Well, what they're doing is this. The number doubles from 1 to 3 plus add 1. So from 1 to 1, that's double. That's 2. And then add 1. That's 3. That's what they're doing. So these type of problems, you're going to have to look at and pay attention to what's happening. So you can see that sequence. So if you look at 31 and you double 31, that's 62. Plus add 1, that equals 63. So that's what you have to do. So that's all we did here. The number doubled, 31, plus 31, plus 1. And that's exactly what they're doing throughout this sequence. So you can test it by using any number using this formula. So what do? Double the number plus add 1. That's all you have to do. And you'll see it comes out right. If you double 1 plus add the number, it'll come out. So you're going to double, let me just put the number symbol. Double number plus 1, add 1. And again, like I told you, we're going to work each one of these types of problems out for you so you can see it step by step. Okay, so if you do that, double the number plus add 1, you'll come up with the answer 63. So your answer choice is B. All right, let's move on to question number 20. Let's erase that. And question number 20 is also on page 588. Okay, so question number 20 is pretty lengthy, but you can see it in your book. Let's go over it. Evening tickets to a play are $24.50 each. Tickets for the afternoon show are $19 each. Janice wants to buy 6 tickets. Arrange terms from the options below to construct the expression Janice would use to determine how much less she would spend if she chooses an afternoon show instead of an evening show. You do not need to use all of the terms offered as options. Use any term only once. So what they do, and that's why I told you, you have to have this book and you can see what we're talking about on page 588 for question number 20. And they give you a number of options here that you can use to set up a formula to calculate the answer that they want. Should you use the evening tickets or the afternoon tickets? And how much less would she have to pay? So the formula that you would set up is, and they wanted to fit the boxes that you have there. And there's 6 spaces. So here's the formula. 3. All right, so we did this. And you see the squares. So I won't draw the squares, but you would put this in the squares. So 6. That's for one space. Then you put your parentheses. That's for the second space. Then 2450. That value is for the third place. Minus 19. And then put your last parenthesis, close parenthesis. And there you go, 6 spaces. Because I don't have I'm not going to draw squares. See? 1, 2, because you have 6 squares there. 3, 4. The value of 19 is 5. And then the 6th square is the closed parenthesis. Okay? That's it. If you set that formula up now, you can see it. So 6 times whatever is in those parentheses. So the first thing we would do is minus the 2450 minus 19. And it's going to give you an answer. And actually, you know what? They're not even asking you to carry out the calculation. But we'll do it. So, well, let's see in the problem. Janice would use to determine how much less she would spend. Yeah. Well, they're not asking you to calculate, but they're saying set it up so you could see how much less she would pay. And you can see that if she bought the 2450 tickets versus the 19, there's 6 tickets to be purchased. How much less would she pay if she bought the $19 tickets? Well, you subtract the 24 from the 19. 2450 minus 19 is going to give you 5.5. Alright? So let's bring this down. Let me give it blue. So let's bring this down. And now we have inside our parentheses 5.5. And now you're going to multiply that. 6 times 5.5. And of course, she would save $33. Okay. But this is what they wanted to know. They wanted you to set up a formula to express that. Let's do problem number. Now, also, I want you to remember, on 20, they're not asking you for the answer. They just want to know right here what formula you would set up to calculate it. That's all they wanted to know. They didn't ask you about the 33, how much. I just went ahead and did it to show you, but that's all they want to know is how would you set it up. Let's do problem number 21. So let's erase that one. And problem number 21 is on page 589 out of your GED book. These are all the different types of problems you're going to encounter. Okay, so what does it read? Of course, you have your book. Follow along, please. In a certain state, the legislature has 100 seats. In 2010, Party X had 54 seats. So they started with 54 seats. In the 2012 election, the party gained 2 seats. Took it to 56. If in 2014 election, Party X loses 6 seats, which means it brought it back down to 50, but gains 2 seats in the 2016 election, which takes it back to 52, what will the absolute change in the number of seats held by Party X from 2010 to 2016 be? Okay, and they want you to write your answer in the box. So here's what we did. We know in 2010, they started off with how many seats? So you have to know that, and it tells you that in the question. So in 2010, they had 54 seats. Alright, so that's what they began with. And this is how we did it. So 54. And in 2012, they gained, according to the question, they gained a certain number of seats. So let's put that, 2012. And we're going to say, okay, in 2012, what do they have? Okay, so they had 54. Let's show it like this. Hold on a second. Let me use the eraser. Let's make it a colon. So in 2012, they had 54. What? Plus they gained 2. That equals 56. Okay, and in 2014, probably now for our next lesson, what I'm going to do is our product record is a little different on some butcher paper. Probably put it up on the wall. But either way, let's see if we can get this done. Because it's a little slower trying to use this software, but at least I'm able to illustrate it, and that was my goal. To be able to show you step by step how we do it. So now at this point in 2014, they have 56 seats, and they lost 6. Everything is coming right out of the question. All you have to do is read it very carefully. So that leaves them with what, a total of 50 seats. Then 2016 election. They gained 2 seats. So what you're going to do is take each part of the question one by one and set it up. That's all we did. We read it and we just carried out each part of the question. And we came up with this. You took it step by step, you'll see the same thing. There you go. Now, overall loss of how many seats? Well, if you look at this, they started with, see, and ended with this. So obviously, overall loss is 52. Okay, that's your answer.